Satyavan, a young fisherman, lived by the Yamuna River. It was his lifeblood. Every day he would venture out, his heart filled with hope and his net ready for the catch. But Satyavan was different. He carried a secret longing within him, a longing for a love unknown. One full moon night, sleep evaded him. He lay on his cot, the silver light bathing his face. An ethereal melody drifted in, carried by the gentle breeze. It was a siren's call, an invitation to a world beyond his own. In his dream he saw her, a vision of unparalleled beauty. Her eyes deep as the ocean held him captive. Her laughter, like the tinkling of seashells, echoed in his ears. Atrika. He woke up with a gasp, his heart pounding. The melody lingered, fainter now, but etched in his soul. The dream felt real. Was it merely a figment of his imagination? Or was it a premonition of a love destined to be his? He knew one thing for sure. He was enchanted. This dream was unlike any other. It left him yearning, aching for something he couldn't quite grasp. The Yamuna River was more than just a source of livelihood for the fishermen. It was sacred, and it came with age-old beliefs. One such belief was to never venture into the river during the full moon. It was said that the river was at its most powerful then, and to disrespect it was to invite the wrath of the gods. Satyavan had always adhered to this rule, but tonight was different. The dream had stirred something within him, a restlessness he couldn't ignore. Drawn by an invisible force, he found himself standing at the river's edge. The moonlight painted the water silver, making it appear almost otherworldly. He hesitated. This was reckless, foolish even. Yet he couldn't turn back. He took a step into the river, then another. The water was cool against his skin, calming the turmoil within him. He cast his net, his heart pounding with a mixture of fear and anticipation. As he pulled the net, it felt unusually heavy. It wasn't a haul of fish. Instead, he found himself staring at her. Atrika. She was even more captivating in reality. Her long flowing hair, the color of moonlight, cascaded down her back. Her eyes, those mesmerizing orbs he had seen in his dream, held a mixture of curiosity and amusement. She was a mermaid. Her lower half, a shimmering turquoise tail, glistened under the moonlight. It moved with a graceful fluidity that captivated him. Satyavan was speechless. He could only stare at her, his heart pounding in his chest. A soft chuckle escaped her lips, breaking the spell that had been cast upon him. "You shouldn't be here," she said, her voice like the gentle lapping of waves against his boat. He found his voice, his words tumbling over each other in his haste to speak. I saw you in my dream," he stammered. Her smile widened, revealing a row of pearly white teeth. "Dreams can be powerful things," she said, her voice a melodic whisper. Thus began their nightly rendezvous. Every full moon night, Satyavan would break this sacred rule and meet Atrika in the heart of the Yamuna. Their love blossomed under the watchful gaze of the moon. He would tell her stories of the human world, of his hopes and dreams. Atrika, in turn, shared the secrets of the river, the whispers of the wind, and the ancient tales of her kind. Their nights were filled with laughter, stolen kisses, and promises whispered under the moonlight. Satyavan had never felt so alive, so complete. Atrika was his muse, his confidant, his love. He would bring her wildflowers, their sweet fragrance filling the air around them. She would weave stories in the moonlight, her voice enchanting him. Their love was an impossible one, a truth they both acknowledged yet refused to accept. For in their hearts they knew this was a love for the ages. Word of Satyavan's strange behavior spread through the village like wildfire. His unusual catches, the whispers of a beautiful woman seen near his boat, and his nightly disappearances. His family, worried and suspicious, decided to follow him. One fateful night, they saw him. Their worst fears were confirmed. They saw Satyavan with Atrika, their son, in the arms of a creature of myth. Fear and superstition clouded their judgment. They saw only a monster, a temptress who had lured their son astray. They returned to the village, their hearts filled with dread and a plan forming in their minds. They would break this unholy alliance, whatever it took. Determined to save their son from what they perceived as a terrible fate, Satyavan's family took drastic measures. They confined him to their home, locking him away from the river and Atrika. Bound by the love for his family and the fear instilled by their warnings, Satyavan found himself trapped. His heart ached for Atrika, her absence a heavy weight upon his soul. He yearned for the feel of her touch, the sound of her laughter, the magic that surrounded her. Unable to bear the thought of living without her, Satyavan hatched a plan. He would escape. He would defy his family and the entire village if he had to. His love for Atrika was his guiding light. Fear nothing more than a shadow in the face of their bond.